You won't believe the blunders that led to the capture of some of the most notorious killers in history. These criminals, often seen as cunning and clever, made shocking mistakes that turned them from predators into prey. With every detail they overlooked, their arrogance played a role in their downfall, revealing how even the smartest plans can crumble under careless decisions. From leaving behind vital clues to making foolish statements that sealed their fate, these killers showcased a series of unbelievable missteps. It's a startling reminder that no one is above the law, and sometimes the most foolish mistakes are the ones that lead straight to a prison cell. Get ready to explore the incredible stories of how small errors led to major consequences, exposing the fragile line between freedom and capture. Number 10. Parking ticket. David Berkowitz. In the late 1970s, New York City was gripped by fear as a serial killer known as the Son of Sam, later identified as David Berkowitz, roamed the streets. Between 1976 and 1977, Berkowitz took the lives of 6 young people and injured 7 others, leaving the city on edge. The police were determined to capture him, forming the Operations Omega Task Force to solve the case. A significant breakthrough came on July 31, 1977, when an eyewitness reported seeing officers writing parking tickets near the last murder scene. One ticket was issued for a cream-colored Ford Galaxie parked illegally in front of a fire hydrant. This seemingly mundane act would lead investigators to Berkowitz as the car was registered in his name. Just 10 days later, with the help of the Yonkers Police Department, the task force arrested him, ending the terror he inflicted on the city. Number 9. Missing license plate, Joel Rifkin. In the early 1990s, Joel Rifkin terrorized New York by murdering 17 women, most of whom were vulnerable prostitutes. His gruesome acts were marked by a disturbing pattern of violence, often targeting those who could easily be dismissed by society. Rifkin's crimes escalated quickly, beginning in 1989 when he killed his first victim, Susie. Over the years, he became increasingly skilled at hiding his crimes, disposing of bodies in a manner that stymied investigators. However, his reign of terror came to an abrupt end on June 28, 1993. While driving with the body of his most recent victim, Tiffany Bresciani, in the trunk of his car, he was pulled over for a missing license plate. This seemingly minor infraction would ultimately lead to the discovery of the horrifying truth. As the police approached his vehicle, a foul odor emanated from the back, alerting officers to the potential crime scene. When they opened the trunk, they were met with the gruesome sight of Bresciani's decomposing body, which led to Rifkin's immediate arrest. In custody, he confessed to all 17 murders, providing chilling details about his heinous acts and helping authorities locate other victims. Number 8. False license plate, Peter Sutcliffe. Peter Sutcliffe, infamously known as the Yorkshire Ripper, was finally apprehended by British police after a lengthy 5-year manhunt. The breakthrough came about unexpectedly when Sergeant Robert Ring noticed Sutcliffe driving a car with false license plates alongside a prostitute. After being stopped, Sutcliffe asked to urinate behind a bush before being taken into custody. This seemingly mundane request turned significant when Sergeant Ring later returned to the area and discovered a hammer and knife hidden behind the shrubbery, tools that were linked to Sutcliffe's gruesome crimes. When confronted with this evidence, Sutcliffe confessed to being the serial killer who had terrorized northern England, culminating in the tragic deaths of 13 women. His arrest marked the end of one of the most extensive investigations in history. Number 7. Scratch marks, Earl Nelson. Earl Nelson, known as the Gorilla Man, was a notorious serial killer active in the 1920s. His arrest came after he was linked to several murders through scratch marks found on the bodies of his victims. These marks were crucial evidence that helped investigators connect him to the crimes. Additionally, Nelson's unusual modus operandi involved breaking into homes and attacking women, often leaving behind distinct marks on their skin. Eventually, the police apprehended him and he was convicted, highlighting how even small details can lead to capturing a dangerous criminal. Number 6. Public indecency, Arthur Shawcross. Arthur Shawcross, a serial killer responsible for the deaths of 11 women in Rochester, New York, was caught due to a shocking act of public indecency. On January 5, 1990, he was spotted by an eyewitness and a police surveillance team engaging in lewd behavior on a bridge over Salmon Creek, which was close to where one of his victims had been found. This brazen act not only drew immediate attention, but also provided crucial evidence that linked him to the murders. Consequently, his arrest followed swiftly, ultimately leading to his conviction for these gruesome acts. Thus, Shawcross's careless mistake highlights how even the most elusive criminals can be undone by their own foolish actions. Number 5. Forged Will, Harold Shipman. What happens when a trusted doctor becomes a killer? Harold Shipman, a well-respected physician in the UK, shocked the world with his heinous crimes. He was responsible for the deaths of over 250 patients, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in history. However, his downfall came when he attempted to forge a will for one of his victims, a wealthy widow named Kathleen Grundy. After her suspicious death, Shipman presented a fake will that left him her entire estate. This raised eyebrows among Grundy's family, prompting them to report their concerns to the police. Investigators quickly uncovered evidence of Shipman's crimes, including his medical records and the fact that he had been administering lethal doses of painkillers to his patients. Ultimately, Shipman was arrested and convicted in 2000, receiving a life sentence. His greed and carelessness not only led to his capture, but also highlighted the vulnerability of patients in the healthcare system. Number 4. Plumbing issues, Dennis Nilsen. What could plumbing problems have to do with a serial killer's capture? For Dennis Nilsen, it was a critical link to his horrific crimes. In 1983, a plumber was called to fix a severe blockage in Nilsen's drains. While investigating the problem, the plumber made a shocking discovery. Human remains, including bones and flesh, were clogging the pipes. This gruesome find prompted a police investigation, which unveiled the extent of Nilsen's brutal actions. It turned out that he had been disposing of his victims' bodies by flushing them down the toilet and attempting to burn the remains in his fireplace. The sheer amount of human tissue in the plumbing system led to the blockage, ultimately sealing Nilsen's fate and leading to his arrest. Number 3. Erratic driving, Randy Kraft. Sometimes it takes just one wrong move to uncover a killer. In the case of Randy Kraft, a late-night traffic stop turned into a shocking revelation. When police pulled over his swerving car on a Californian highway, they found a dead body in the passenger seat. To make matters worse, investigators discovered a list of names in the trunk and disturbing photographs of dead bodies hidden under the seat. Despite the damning evidence linking him to at least 16 murders, Kraft, known as the scorecard killer, continues to claim his innocence while sitting on death row, with estimates suggesting he may have taken up to 100 lives. Number 2. Stolen car, Ted Bundy. In a chilling twist of fate, Ted Bundy's arrest was triggered by a stolen car. On August 16, 1975, police stopped Bundy for driving a vehicle that had been reported stolen. During the routine traffic stop, officers noticed suspicious items in his car, including a crowbar, handcuffs, and a ski mask, raising their concerns. As they investigated further, they linked him to the disappearances of several young women, leading to his eventual arrest. Bundy's capture was a significant turning point, as he later confessed to killing more than 30 women, making him one of America's most notorious serial killers. This case serves as a reminder that even the smallest mistakes can unravel the most calculated plans. Number 1. Floppy disk, Dennis Rader. In an ironic turn of events, Dennis Rader, infamously known as the BTK killer, was caught due to a seemingly innocuous floppy disk. After years of evading capture, Rader sent a letter to the police in 2005, including a floppy disk with a message. Unbeknownst to him, investigators were able to trace the disk back to Rader's church, linking him directly to the communications. This crucial oversight led to his arrest in February 2005, where he eventually confessed to the brutal murders of 10 people. Rader's downfall highlights how even the most tech-savvy criminals can slip up, revealing that no matter how clever a killer thinks they are, a single mistake can bring their reign of terror to an end. And there you have it, 10 shocking mistakes that led to the capture of some of history's most notorious killers. It's a stark reminder that even the cleverest criminals can trip over their own arrogance. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating stories.